and this applies to everyone in the audience as well.
You ready to get started?
Yeah, we want to make sure you get your parking for free. Sir, I'm going to...
Ready to go ahead and get started? Well, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us here today. And to December 8, 2021, thank you for joining. I'm Cecil Pendergrass, currently the chairman of the Lee County Commission. And we got some good things coming up this meeting. But I want first we can stand, call the meeting to order, and also stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. So I got some big shoes to fill. The last couple of years, you guys had some great leadership here by Commissioner Brian Hammond, who's been serving Lee County overall in the last 8 years, and also the TDC and VCB for the last 2 years. So I'd like to take this opportunity to recognize him and all his service the last 2 years. Brian, if you can come up here. Thank you. And this is on behalf of the VCB and the council and TDC and all their employees. I know they really enjoyed having you. I know they're going to miss you. So hopefully I can fill your shoes a little bit and do a great job with what you did. So thank you again. You were here at some good times and bad times. So again, thank you for everything you did, Brian.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I know you're not short words, so please take a chance to address the council.
Mr. Chairman, thank you very much. What an honor. Thank you guys for the recognition. That's amazing. And I don't want to brag, Mr. Chairman. We did increase bed tax collections by 10 million more. So you got a lot of work cut out for you. But boy, what a great team to do it. Thank you guys for sticking with us through the COVID downturn, and then obviously this amazing recovery that we're going on. And you know, we're all here to support you, as our chairman has obviously shown by his leadership here. So I wish you all the best year and the happiest of holiday seasons. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian.
You're welcome to join us in the party. I think Tamara and staff put together a little party after this day. If
Little holiday cheer over at the courtyard at Twisted Vine after.
Oh, very good. Thanks,
You're welcome
guys.
to join us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you again, Brian. Yeah, I got to see some good things and bad things over the last 2 years. So this is going to be, hopefully this will be a good year too. So first we do the pledge, so let's do the roll call.
Commissioner Cecil Pendergrass.
Here.
Mayor Molly Smith.
Here.
Brian Myers.
Here.
Pamela Cronin. Here. Colleen DePasquale. Here. Bill Wachulis.
Here.
We do have a quorum. Rob Wells will be momentarily. Rob Wells is here. Oh, he's here. Rob Wells is here.
He's here. Great, thank you. And next on the agenda would be approval of the November 9th, 2021 TDC meeting minutes.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on that? Any public comment on the minutes? Being none, any objection? No objection, motion carries. Thank you. At this time, we'll call for public comment from anyone. Any public comment? Yes, please. Please go to the podium and state your name, and thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Osha Turner. I'm with United Way. I'm the Director of Donor Engagement. I've met many of you at some point in time. We, too, at United Way want to thank you for all of the work that you've done over these past couple of years, 21 months in particular, and still maintaining providing great hospitality service in for the tourism industry. So thank you all very much. In front of your places, I want to share 2 pieces of information with you. During this critical time, these may be resources you'd like to share with your staff and or anyone that you know in the community. How many of you have ever heard of 211, dialing the number 211? A great amount of you here. So for those of you who don't, 211 is our non-emergency phone number. It is answered 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. For any need that somebody might have. Any assistance, the support is readily available. Please just encourage the person who is in need of support to dial that number, make a call, and get the assistance that they need. We don't want people struggling, especially now during the holidays. The other piece of information I'd like to share, because it's the end of the year and the beginning of tax season, starts in January. Well, if you'd like to get your taxes done for free, our VITA tax program is something readily available for you as well. VITA stands for Volunteer Income Tax Assistance. If you have a household income of $66,000 or less, you can have your taxes done for free. Who wants to put an extra couple of $100 back in your pocket by not having to pay for those tax preparations? In January, you'll hear a full informational report about United Way from your own Mr. Tony Lappy and Janine Joyce. So I will just share these pieces of information as your resources. Wish you a happy holidays, and thank you for keeping Lee County going here. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comment before I call on the cities? Okay, will municipalities be heard? Any municipalities here? No? I'm not used to Sandoval or Cape Coral's not here today. So I'm usually here from somebody, but nothing today? Okay. I do like to recognize in the back of the room here, we have some new faces. In the room, we have the Chamber Leadership class here today in attendance. They're here just watching and observing. This is their day brought them to our meeting here today. So hopefully they'll learn and see a lot of good information here today. So thank you for being here. And if you have any questions afterwards, please let us know. Thank you. And next, we have the report of the Executive Director, Tamara Pike.
All right, thank you very much, and happy December to everyone. We'll begin with the bed tax report, and for October of 2021, we collected $3,275,154 in tourist development tax or bed tax. That is an increase of 51% over last year, but 57% over 2019. So another very, very strong bed tax collection month. I think that's over $1 million above the previous year.
Wow.
Yeah, it is. That's a big October. I remember when September and October didn't break $1 million, so I think I've maybe been here a while. So to see $3 million on an October, that's something.
Tamara, if I could, for the leadership class here, if you've never been here before, when you say bed tax, this is tax collected from people staying in Lee County, hotels or resorts. They pay the bed tax, and that money is used for three things here in Lee County, either marketing for future stays here, and also pays for sports activities and other things throughout the county. So that's tourist tax staying here. So when your in-laws come here, they stay in town, put them in a hotel, they're paying for everything. So.
Yes, very, obviously we use those dollars to market, but another big program in addition to the stadiums is the Beach and Shoreline program, a quarter of it for that. So we maintain the beaches, put sand back on the beaches, maintain those beach accesses using those dollars. So it is a benefit to everyone who lives here on a year-round basis. Though that is the first month of the fiscal year, there are some prepayments that always happen. So the prepayments take that number to $3.35 million. Again, over 50% above 20 and 56 above 19. Star report for the month of October, lots of green. I love all this green. We had a lot of red for a while. It's nice to see green again. Occupancy at 62.8, and pointing out, Bill, that is above 2019. Look at that ADR increase over 2019, up 20%, 138.47, and RevPAR 86.91. So really nice to see the numbers just moving in the right direction. In terms of key data report, occupancy at the vacation rentals coming in at, and this is non-owner occupied occupancy, just a visitation occupancy, 37%, ADR at 184, and RevPAR at 69%. All, of course, increases over last year and 2019. Vacation rental strength continues. Great numbers at the airport as well, 769,524 passengers through the airport. That's a 20% increase over 19, and of course a big increase over 2020. And for the year to date, I think this is the most exciting part. Literally, when we give this report in November, Fran, we're gonna break 2019. I'm confident. Finally, we're seeing it's just a smidge down for 2019, and it looks like we are on track to break the 2019 numbers, which, and remember, January and February were off. And those are our biggest, some of our biggest travel months of the year for visitors. So to see us literally rebound to 2019 is just unbelievable. Super.
If I could say something real quick, these numbers, I mean, looking back a year ago, I know Commissioner Hammond was over here then, and I was across the street, with the meetings over there, we're dealing with COVID and everything. Never thought, looking back a year ago, year and a half ago, we'd be, not celebrating, but recognizing these great numbers. But after what's happened, looking back with what we did locally and what we did statewide with the governor's decisions, what we did locally, obviously we did the right thing. So we're seeing the effects of that now. So we're still the #1 recovery airport in the nation. Fran, you're on the airport manager. I'm flying out of there tomorrow, so I'll be one of those numbers next month. So it's been a good thing from that side. Even though we're still, people in the community are still suffering, we're still getting through this. So
Can we go back to the star?
Yeah.
It's interesting. You can see the consumer change. 2019, 2.4% up, and you have a lot more inventory now with more hotel rooms in, which we were able to make up. Let's go on the next slide. But you can see that vacation rentals now 37%. So the consumers somewhat changed somewhat to
Yep.
where they're actually renting now more through vacation rental.
Yep. I think, you've seen the vacation rental strength through the pandemic for sure. It's going to be really interesting to see as people get more and more comfortable. Of course, Omicron, maybe a little bit of a wrench in the situation, but I think, it'll be interesting to see as time goes on, do we continue to see the strength in the vacation rentals, or does it shift back to the hotels in the way it had?
Well, I think, if I could tag on that, I think an important factor is that as more people are registering their vacation rentals. So we had a significant number of vacation rentals all the time, but now there's this registration process that we as municipalities are all watching very carefully. It's a revenue expense, it's a bed tax, and so I think that's part of it too, that people are saying they've got to get registered.
And the distribution channels, right? I mean, VRBO, Airbnb, those channels just have, really exploded that, I think it's shifted the marketplace a bit. And, Tony was here. I know he has a vacation rental arm. I think things are just, they're changing continually.
My Airbnb stock is doing very well.
Yeah. Good diversification, Bill.
Not just a hotelier.
Next slide, please. Oh, that's it. I'm done. That's fantastic. Brian is going to come up and give you a marketing update. A little bit of this you may have seen if you were at the annual meeting, but we wanted to make sure that the greater group and the audience watching has seen some of this information. Some of it, however, is very new. So, Brian, I'll turn it over to you, sir.
Good afternoon, Mr. Commissioner, members of TDC. For the record, my name is Brian Osowski, Marketing Director for the Visitor and Convention Bureau, and we'll be presenting today's marketing report. So I wanted to start things off this afternoon by sharing some content directly from the pages of our new sales and marketing plan. You can find that on leavecb.com. Our marketing approach remains data-led. We are consistently monitoring where consumers are dedicating their time to make sure that our campaigns are deployed appropriately with the latest targeting technology applied. Now, our core pillars for FY22, as mentioned, our strategy is data-led, and we are working on refining and optimizing our target audiences. Our approach remains full funnel, which basically means everything from inspiration to conversion, and properly aligned with travel motivators. Everything we do as a brand takes into account the power of partnerships. And of course, one of our primary overarching goals is to uplift our industry partners through our co-op program with a focus on conversions or bookings. Of course, we remain nimble, knowing that market conditions due to the pandemic could once again dictate the need to pivot quickly if necessary. So today I'd like to take a bit of a deeper dive and share some of the high-impact integrated media partnerships that we have on tap for this fiscal year. Here you see two of those, Condé Nast and Outside Magazine. We'll also be talking about the New York Times, USA Today, Verbo, and SXM Stitcher podcast. So beginning with Condé Nast Traveler, the approach here is that we are extending an earlier campaign by having a Condé Nast Traveler by the name of Jesse Ashlock actually visit the destination to actualize a trip that one of his co-editors had planned back in 2020. So our custom content through this package features fun, relaxing moments that Jesse is experiencing while inspiring his readers and viewers to book their getaway to Lee County. It includes a very cool long-form video, native content, social media, display, and print advertising for a truly integrated approach. Now, our reach will also be expanded through sponsorship of the Women Who Travel podcast. We receive a full episode dedicated to Lee County and 100% share of voice with those ads. Now, from a list of candidates we provided to the Condé Nast team, they selected Chef Melissa Donahue of Sweet Melissa's to be their special guest on our episode, sort of our brand ambassador, and they're working through those interview details now. This is a pretty cool program. Next up is Outside Magazine, and our approach is to leverage ongoing consumer enthusiasm for outdoor activities through this partnership. Content will promote our unspoiled natural landscape and encourage readers to actively explore like a local. Our messaging runs across Outside's print, digital, and social channels. And the cool thing about this is a winter promotion that we are also going to repurpose for the summer season. Then, of course, one of our favorite publishers to work with, the New York Times. This April, we are producing a follow-up to last season's Sounds of Nature campaign that you might remember. It features native content, features promotion across the New York Times website. We have some podcast ads and some digital display ads as part of this package. Our approach is a series of short first-person essays that feature 3 locals who pivoted their careers for happier, brighter workdays by choosing to live and work in Lee County. These features will showcase the people, the water, the weather, and all the moments that make our destination just right for travelers. Next up is USA Today. Now, we've actually considered partnering with USA Today the last couple of years, but this is the first time that we're pulling the trigger on an integrated partnership of this magnitude. Our approach is to utilize USA Today's namesake media channels to deploy custom content and high-impact digital placements and promote a summer getaway sweepstakes in some of our seasonal markets. The content will be immersive and interactive and will highlight the feelings that come with a visit to our area. The sweepstakes is lead generating, so we'll be able to remarket to those folks, and includes 3 emails to the entire USA Today promotions database. Personally, this one I'm really looking forward to. Our approach here is to partner with Vrbo, Expedia's vacation rental platform. This is a first-to-market interactive campaign with a co-branded sweepstakes component. And what does that mean, co-branded? That means that our brand will be aligned in partnership with the Vrbo brand on this effort. They're also bonusing us a sizable amount of value of part of this package. We'll position Lee County as must-see, must-visit among vacation rental enthusiasts. And this is one of those platforms we're utilizing to really elevate Lee County's vacation rental storytelling. And the final example I have for you today, another podcast campaign effort. We'll deploy producer or host-read spots during select premium podcasts. We'll contextually align these podcasts with our addressable audiences to achieve the greatest relevance and impact. Now, the shows we've selected are NBC Today with Hoda and Jenna, Ologies, which is a science-based podcast, and Literally with Rob Lowe. Podcasts continue to be really hot right now. You probably remember me talking to you about them last season, so we're really upping our game here even more. As you know, there's also been a lot of new route activity going on over at RSW, and a couple of those United Airlines routes we're pretty excited about. So we've partnered with our friends down south in Naples Collier on a campaign to let folks know that they can now hop on a plane in LA or San Francisco and fly nonstop to Southwest Florida. So Collier liked our creative approach, so we were actually able to repurpose some of our Know the Feeling assets for this campaign. But you'll notice that the blue and the green ads look a little different here. These ads just started running a couple of days ago, and will run through January 9th under the Beaches of Fort Myers and Sanibel brand, shown in blue. Then on January 10th, all the way through the end of March, we'll make the shift over to our new Fort Myers brand, shown in green. Albeit on a slightly smaller scale, we have a similar social media campaign starting this week to also promote new nonstop American Airlines flights between Austin and Fort Myers for the holiday season. Okay, moving on to the, yeah.
I'm sorry, I missed where those are running. Where are those physically running? On United or?
Oh no, these are running in the Los Angeles and San Francisco markets to let folks know that direct flights, nonstop flights, are available into RSW.
Brian, just kind of a question. I know,
Sure.
I probably wasn't at the meeting this year when this, so I noticed on that we did a joint venture with Collier County too. I know we were talking about that a couple of years ago, and that's why we have Naples and Marco Everglades on there too.
Correct.
So is it 50-50 there as far as the cost share? I know we had talked about that a couple of years ago, and I guess it's all come together now.
I think we have a slightly larger investment, but then we broke off on our own to do some social media placements that were specifically just for Lee County. But Collier brought a sizable sum to the table this time around. So I'm looking at this as an equal partnership. Yes, sir.
So I don't know if everybody heard yesterday, the board meeting, Commissioner Wayne, who had read a letter from the city of Cape Coral, they're looking to be recognized too in the future. So I'm sure we'll be talking about it in the future, on future advertising, somehow working Cape Coral into the mix too. I know it's probably been talked about here in the last year or two. I wasn't here though, so I don't know what's happened the last year or two with that. But
I was actually going to address
Rob.
some of that for you this afternoon. Mr. Wells?
Address it then. I was going to just ask more about the Cape Coral, if that's in a co-op sort of form that they take a spot out, or you may want to.
I don't think it won't. I mean, there are obviously co-ops available, but anytime we place brand advertising for the destination that, say, features Cape Coral or features Matlacha or North Fort Myers, we're going to start putting some locators in those ads so that when you see Fort Myers, Islands, Beaches, and Neighborhoods as the brand, you'll also know where specifically within the destination those images come from. Because we get a lot of questions from visitors. Hey, where was that shot taken? I want to visit there. I want to do that activity. So we're going to try to be a little bit more, we're going to try to accommodate them a little bit more in explaining where those destination shots were taken.
But in fairness, not just Cape Coral, all the destinations.
All the neighborhoods.
And I just want to be clear, the locator's going to be part of our ad campaign. It's a little tough to do on this kind of placement, banner ads and stuff, but we're going to do that. So if it's a Fort Myers Beach shot, it's going to say Fort Myers Beach. Of course.
Neighborhoods. Are you saying there's going to be a separate Cape Coral?
So I don't have the letter from the mayor of Cape Coral that was sent to Commissioner Wayne. I know he talked about it yesterday. We'll get it. We'll talk more about it in the future. I'm just bringing it up just because it was brought up yesterday.
I have some print ad examples. I'm not sure the examples I've pulled here show the Cape, but Tam, myself, and the team have been working on some creative assets that include every neighborhood across Lee County.
Right. And I know you've been aware of it. I know it's been an issue back and forth for years, but just bringing up what happened yesterday, and I'm sure we'll be talking about in the future, just so we're aware of it. Thank you.
Where do you draw the line? I'm sure the Sanibel Island will want to be in town of Fort Myers
What about
Beach.
North
Fort Myers Beach.
Hello, how about the redheaded stepchild of Lee?
Go for Myers. Go for Myers, and
Sounds like it's going to be equal opportunity.
you could go to Buckingham, you could go to Boca Grande, you could, I believe me, I
But I
hear you.
honestly think Cape Coral is offering, like, to partner, to fund a partner where, that doesn't happen everywhere. So I think
Right.
that was the question. I think I saw, I'm sorry, I didn't even raise my hand. But I think I was with Mayor of Cape Coral yesterday, and we chatted a little bit about that yesterday. And what they're looking for is more exposure, more, because they're trying to build their brand and building new things, and they're really doing a great job over there. But I think that they are talking about a few dollars to the table. So.
So that's what it takes, a few dollars at the table?
Well, if you're going to partner, don't you
Awesome.
think that's fair?
Oh, I do. So I'll look forward to that opportunity.
I just think it's a slippery slope.
Part of our story, part of our storytelling will be Cape Coral. Part of it will be Matlacha. Part of it will be Bonita Springs and Estero and North Fort Myers.
And Alva and
Yes.
and Lehigh and Seminole Island and Fort Myers. I mean, that's the check. You guys know. I mean, we've been doing this for what, almost 40 years, right?
But to clarify, it's not like it's gonna say Cape Coral on the bottom. There's
No,
no
ma'am.
brand of Cape or North Fort Myers or anywhere. Like that's our brand.
If we put a piece of digital native content like the story with the New York Times, it would be placed under the Fort Myers Islands, Beaches, and Neighborhoods brand name. But within that story, if there are activities or parts of the storytelling that take place in Cape Coral, it's not as though we're not going to talk about our individual neighborhoods.
Yeah, real quick, because when we first discussed, it was told to us, you were going to be able to use this brand and customize it for your location. So I want to be careful that we're not saying that they're doing something that they might not be doing, because the city of Sanibel could say, hey, we're going to take that and put Sanibel, and we're going to share that marketing so we can all have the ability to do that marketing. Is that correct, Tam?
I think the idea is we want to make it available for each of the communities who would like to position themselves as part of that overarching brand messaging, the color scheme, those things to come in fairness.
And honestly, I think for the first time ever, we're all included in the neighborhoods. As little Podunk, not even incorporated, unincorporated area, I think it's wonderful. I love the new branding. I love the neighborhoods aspect of it. I think that is very inclusive, and I really appreciate the fact that you guys have done that.
But in fairness, when it's our ad, it's going to have Fort Myers Islands, Beaches, and Neighborhood. I mean, I just don't want there to be any confusion about, that was a joint partnership with our colleagues to the south and to promote flights to RSW. So both destinations came together, and by the way, we've done this with as many partners as all the way up to St. Petersburg, Clearwater, all the way down to Naples in a joint effort to promote air service, because of course, as we all know, it takes a little bit more partnership to get those additional flights to our area. We have great interest in, we all know that more flights to our area mean more visitors to our area, and so that partnership is critical.
Thank you, Brian.
You're welcome. All right, let's talk a little bit about the new brand campaign. So Know the Feeling will be replaced by It's a Good Day, that many of you who attended the annual meeting a couple of weeks ago heard. And this sort of sums up what the new brand campaign is all about. Under sunny skies, in the right place with the right people, having a good day every day just feels natural. This has endeared people to Lee County for so long, and this is what will drive new visitors to our destination. It's what people need right now, the belief that more good days are ahead, and there's one place that always delivers.
Good night stress, see you in the morning. I don't gotta guess, you're always there for me. Sowing them seeds of doubt, I think you like seeing me freak out. Good night stress, see you in the morning. So I wake up, I get out of bed, stay out of my head, cause it's dangerous, and I don't wanna lose my mind, no. I just wanna shine, like the sun when it comes up, love the city from the rooftops, 'cause today's gonna be my day. I just wanna climb to the top of the mountain, stand tall when I'm howling, 'cause today's gonna be my day.
So I wanted to share with you our first 6 approved Good Day print ads. As I mentioned, these are the beginning of this campaign. Obviously, things will evolve. Our team continues to work on creative, as I mentioned, that represents more of our neighborhoods and more of the various activities and experiences that visitors can have here. These first 2, it's a good day, all flips, no flops. It's a good day, and there are more where that came from. It may spoil you, but that's exactly the point. Going with a new kind of flow. Feeling waves of relaxation, and it's a good day, catching up while slowing down. You can see in the top, these 2 ads, these shots were taken on Sanibel with the locator, the top right corner. There's Fort Myers Beach where the kayaking was taking place, and Captiva, the bike riding. And then there's another one for Captiva and Pam, North Fort Myers. So while the brand team has been hard at work on the new campaign, the marketing technology gurus have been hard at work on a brand new destination website, which will be the new visitfortmyers.com. With this, we took a true mobile-first approach because 60% of our website users visited from a mobile device, and that number will only continue to grow. So through drag-and-drop modules, we can create a more customized look and feel. We'll even be able to adjust our brand color combinations depending on the content. Of course, our site will continue to be ADA compliant and use AI accessibility tools that enable customized web experiences for users who require it. Much like the visitor guide I'm going to touch on here in a minute, the website takes an inspirational and editorial focus. It features a new Facebook Messenger-based chatbot that will engage with visitors, provide quick answers to FAQs, and direct folks to the resources and content that they're looking for. And the site is even more jam-packed with user-generated content. It also includes new mapping solutions, and we will incorporate those Threshold 360 virtual tours that many of our partners participated with us in. A whole lot more. Here are a few screen grabs from our mobile designs. They're on the left showing one of those UGC modules. In the center there, part of our mobile meeting planners section, and on the right, some featured content areas from the homepage. Now, at annual meeting, you probably heard me say that the soft launch of this website would be December 9th, and that would be tomorrow. And unfortunately, we've experienced some production delays. We're running about 3 weeks behind, so our new launch date will take place just after the holidays on January 5th. So to support the brand shift, the introduction of the new Good Day campaign, and the new leisure website, we've also published a new visitor guide in collaboration with a fantastic team at Miles Partnership. Now, for the past 8 or 9 years or so, you know we've been partnering with Lonely Planet on this guide, and now that's come to an end. So I wanted to share with you quickly the visitor guide rollout video I presented at annual meeting because I think it paints a really good picture of what you guys can expect. So the cross support between the visitor guide and website is purposeful, which is why this video ends with the new URL. Because you can order hard copies of the visitor guide on the website, or you can choose to download or view digital versions of the guide. But then within the visitor guide itself, we've strategically placed QR codes so that if a visitor needs more information than we had space to provide it in the printed guide, Folks can scan the code like you guys did today for your parking and be taken right to the corresponding section of the website. So now looking at how the calendar is shaping up, visitor guides are a little more than a week or so away from being delivered. Now the new consumer website launch date is January 5th. As mentioned, it was originally going to be December 9th. But the new Good Day brand campaign will launch as planned on January 10th. So this is our December meeting, and we are all looking forward to some holiday cheer after our meeting today. So I wanted to share a pretty cool social media campaign the team has put together for the holidays called Know the Holiday Feeling. It is a register to win, and we're giving away different gifts and treats from a variety of businesses throughout Lee County. And we think it's pretty cool. Norman Love chocolates and a few other things. Something else we've done is to create our own Fort Myers version of 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. This is a unique, fun way for us to be a disruptor on social media with everything that's going on out there this time of year. So I wanted to end my report this afternoon with this quick holiday video. Take a look.
'Twas the night for vacation, and on the warm beach, the seashells were glistening and well within reach. Sea turtles were nestled all snug in the sand, while herons and spoonbills stood in quiet marshlands. When on the shore by the lighthouse there arose such a clatter, even dolphins jumped up to see what was the matter. Beneath the soft moonlight a tiny sled did appear, and out jumped St. Nick next to tired reindeer. The holidays had ended, it was time for a rest, and even Santa knows relaxing here is the best.
That's awesome.
That is my report. Any other questions that I can answer at this time?
Any other questions?
Great job.
Thank you for the good news. Great job.
Brian, the website, is it Miles that's doing that, or no?
MMGY. Miles won the RFP process for the visitor guide, but MMGY developed the website.
Got it. Thank you.
And we got those two agency teams to work together. It was really nice.
All good.
Thank you.
Well, next, we have the report of the Sports Development Director, Jeff Milkey.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and good afternoon, Council. It's never fun to follow Brian and his great video shows that he puts on. But we're going to go over a couple months that we've had during this mostly summer and early fall. Last TDC meeting, we discussed how great July was for us. We'll go to the July highlights of. So for the first time in our history, in a single month, we surpassed 40,000 room nights. It's a special landmark for our entire team because when we started this back in 2003, we were doing 35,000 room nights a year. So to hit 40,000 in 1 month is special for everyone in our sports tourism family. So 44,760 room nights, $13.8 million in indirect visitor spending in that month alone. Mostly anchored by Perfect Game Baseball, as it always is. They hosted 11 of their national championships in July. But we also had USSSA Girls Fast Pitch event, which continues to be very solid. We had a new event that was down at Hertz Arena called the All Ivy Hockey Showcase. It's a group down in Bonita who are bringing high school hockey players in, and they're only inviting Ivy League hockey coaches to scout them. So it's kind of a cool concept, and it's being it was so successful. They're planning 2 more of those events in 2022. And then our second year, we hosted American Junior Golf Association, had an event down at Stony Brook. So you can see, compared to even last year, which again we were in COVID recovery, but starting in September and October, we really started to recover well. This 44,000 is a great event number for us, and really packed our community and all of our facilities in the month of July. On a much lower note, here comes August with the dreary 1,500 room nights compared to 44,000. Not even $1 million in direct visitor spending, 600,000. Perfect Game did have a national showcase. We had a rugby event, a baseball academy, and some people ask me why isn't August any better? And part of it is that all of the summer championships have come to a screeching halt. They used to bleed over into August a lot, but you can see that our school starts August 10th now. So, and other states are starting even earlier than that. So these summer tournaments can't go into August anymore because they're losing all of their high school teams because kids are going back to school. And adult sports have not started their fall seasons yet. So August has just always been, if you go to the next slide, you can see we're super down, but 1,500 compared to down from 3,800 room nights. So it's a big percentage, but it's a really small number that we are down. So August is just always a challenge. Yes, sir.
I'm assuming there was something in 2016.
Yeah, so we had a special event there, but that was also when Perfect Games started running a new concept called the Series, and it was all in August, and the school date was later. And so they would put every age group in August because they couldn't get in here in July. Well, they've shifted some of their products up to Seminole County now, and because they kept losing teams as our school year kept getting earlier in August, the series now is actually now a July product instead of an August product. So it just, you can see it naturally kept flowing age group by age group out of August and into July. So that's mostly the reason why. We do keep looking for August events, but there's just not a lot of them out there. To September, and you'll remember, or I'll remind you that September of 2020 was by far the best September we'd ever had. That was when the contraction from the East Coast started happening. That's when Lee County being open for business really started to have a positive impact on sports. Broward County, Miami-Dade, Palm Beach were all still closed to sports business, and there was this big push of events over into our neck of the woods in September and October. But still, our typical September was always about 7,500 room nights. So to follow up a 15,000 room night September with 11 is still a really good story for us. Almost $5 million of direct visitor spending. Perfect Game Labor Day was 1,800 of that. And then, and really the reason that we're so still strong is this sophomore world championship. It used to be a 3-day event, and it has become so popular that it's turned into a 5-day event. So that's keeping kids and their families in our town for almost twice as long on the last weekend of September. So that's really good for us. And you can see the bar chart. So again, by far 2020 was the best year we'd ever had, but followed up in 2021 fairly strongly. So the couple things to note, we followed September was October, November was, they're turning out to be great months. We're still crunching the data on those. I'm really thrilled to have had to start our great basketball season. We had both the Gulf Coast Showcase at Hertz Arena, which had 16 college teams, 8 men and 8 women. And then we certainly had the Fort Myers tip-off at Suncoast Arena, nationally televised, anchored by Florida, Ohio State. It was on national television, buzzer beater for all you Gator fans that won at the last shot. I'm sorry, Mayor. But man, what a fantastic basketball season we have had in our community, and now we've got the City of Palms Basketball Classic coming up, which is it's nearing 40 years. I don't think they're quite there, but it's just been an iconic event in our community, and so we're ending the year strong. So as we're hitting the holiday stride here, I just want to say thank you to everyone in this room. Our amazing sports tours and partnerships, such as our Parks and Rec teams, the athletic coordinators, the grounds crew folks who are always just grinding through these summer and fall months and helping us put this. We have a great partnership with Allison and her team at the SOC, and we couldn't do it without everybody who hopefully who's listening to this. So thank you to everyone, and happy holidays, and certainly answer any questions.
Any questions for Jeff? Grant?
Are you or somebody going to give us an update on the Hammond Stadium? I didn't like what I saw on TV. Channel 2 had it on last night in Channel 5, and both stations were opposite, you know.
Yeah, well, I think the NBC coverage was accurate. It was,
Yeah.
I think the NBC story was accurate, it provided information. I think the Wink story obviously was diluted with some non-factual stuff, just trying to paint a negative picture like we thought they would do as far as the, taxpayer dollars. They say it's tax dollars, but it's actually bed tax dollars, and they're not, that we don't know what the cost. Well, no, we don't know what the cost is. They're obviously doing testing and stuff. And Glenn, you were part of that press conference yesterday. I know county management did that. Another thing is, is we're going to have spring training, if there's going to be a lockdown or not. So there's a lot of questions on, unanswered questions right now, but they're reviewing the engineering studies to see the damage and what is it going to cost and to fix that. The main important thing is all the players at the table. I met with the president of Manhattan Construction this morning. So Manhattan, all the engineering firms and everybody involved with the project are at the table together trying to determine what happened, and they're all going to be there to fix it. So it's going to be a process. I don't know if you want to add anything else to it, but the most important thing is we're all working, everybody's at the table, agreeing they're going to fix it and get the park back up in the way it's supposed to be. Glenn, do you want to add anything to that?
Mr. Chair, I think you covered it pretty well. I mean, it certainly won't affect spring training at the facility, other than to say there might be, a few less tickets that are able to be sold, but that's still to be determined ultimately as well once we get these engineering reports. So
the most important thing is public safety. We don't want people out those walkways if there is a danger there. After what happened last year at Surfside, and you just definitely don't want to take any chances. So there's obviously damage there. Hopefully it's just not just cosmetic, but hopefully the structural part of it won't be too intense, and they'll be able to fix that. So we'll wait to see what the results come back from the test to see if it's a design flaw, if it's a material flaw, or who's going to be fixing it. So.
But that's not going to be before spring training.
No. So, yeah, no matter what the fix would be, it would be after spring training. Obviously, the Twins are not happy, but again, they were the vendors and stuff that they approved back in 2012 of their choice. So the bad thing is publicly, we're going to have to talk about is there's always going to be that sentiment. People out there are always talking about, oh, it's baseball, it's our tax dollars. Well, we all know it's not, and it's just that whole negative approach. And it depends on how the media tries to play it, but they will try to play it up. It's tax dollars. Unless they're staying in the hotel rooms, they're not paying for it. But it's just, obviously, we don't want to use any extra exceeding more TDC funds than we have to repair that. Hopefully, between the insurance, that this is going to be covered under this, and hopefully there's enough there to cover the damages and the replacement. But we don't know yet until the full exam is done for the engineering studies. So.
And how does that work with the seats? Like, how many seats do you anticipate to lose? And do people that are up north that are coming for spring training, do they already have those seats? I don't know how that works.
yeah, the Twins had taken the precautionary measure of not selling those boardwalk tickets. So no one's going to be out of a ticket, so to speak. Yeah.
The number I read yesterday was 1,700 seats. Does that sound right?
That would be the maximum. That would be the maximum number if you sold out the entire park.
For spring training, which was normal, right?
Yeah, probably.
The Twins don't sell out every game. No, I mean they're strong. It's what are they, the second or third strongest team in the league? So it's very good. Yes.
And then because I wasn't part of so that they found damage to the boardwalk, and now we're just not sure. So what the delay is more just getting that. It's like a survey of the property itself to figure out what's going on, what caused it, and then the next steps to rectify. Is that what you're saying? Like that just takes more time than.
Yeah, that's right. These are sophisticated engineering analyses, multiple firms involved. They peer review each other's work, so it does just take some time.
Okay.
Do they have a timeline, Glenn, about when they're going to have determination what the cause of it is and what the fix is? Do you know?
We don't have a firm timeline yet, Commissioner, on when those reports will be delivered. There's still some work to do on that.
The most important thing is all the firms are all working together. They're all at the table. Nobody's lowered up here or anything like that. So they're all working to resolve it, and that's the good thing.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Anything else? Yeah. So meanwhile, we just have to deal with the media and try and provide the correct information and the way they report it. I'm sorry, it's just we deal with it. Either it's water, oil, algae, whatever it may be. one dead fish or a million fish, they're going to report, and it's just going to try to be a negative story. I mean, we saw that with Topgolf last month. They opened up, and all the stories were good, and this one station is always negative because there's lights on the interstate, which, so it's just, it is what it is. So, okay, great. Thank you, Jeff. Anything else? Okay, good. Okay, next, new business. Appoint a TDC vice chair. Who's the lucky person? What do you think? What's...
Hey, Rob Wells.
Second that.
I didn't want to be a vice chair hog, so I didn't know. Anybody else been longing for it? Holly, Colleen, Bill?
You do a fine job, my friend.
Fran?
You just get nominated in a second. No one's touching that, so.
I would do it again.
Okay.
Tough job.
Rob takes the job. We don't have to take a vote.
Especially, since Renee was, no, but you're the best since then, so.
Rob, you're my wingman, like Race and Deli. You know, okay, there you go.
Unopposed, yay?
Thank you. And next is approve the 2022 TDC meeting dates.
Make a motion for approval.
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. Any public comment on the meeting dates?
I'm sorry, I glanced at them, but they're in, I think it's March or May, there's always the same date as Port Authority. Did we fix that, right?
Well, I'm not 100% sure if that's true. Is anyone from the Port Authority
No.
here, honestly?
We'll fix it.
Okay.
March 17th, we have moved the March date back a week because of ITB. Now, I want to be clear.
Oh,
That
so, no, I think,
that may or may not happen.
National holiday.
okay, you know what, I'll look at
It is a national holiday for
I'll-
some of us.
Yes, I'm sorry, I'll look at it tomorrow and text
It's
you
March
and let you know.
17th, so it's St. Patrick's Day that it is our meeting.
That's what I said.
In the morning,
I was going to say, what
relative
time
on
does
that
the
day.
green beer?
I'm guessing it's pretty busy at the Pink Shell that day, too. Okay, well, okay, we'll check, I'm sorry, but yes,
Okay.
Okay. Great.
So,
We have a motion second, and no objections to the meeting dates. We're all good with those. And appoint TDC Attractions, Events, Marketing Subcommittees. Nancy.
Good afternoon. McPhee Product Development. As you know, I manage the funding programs, and it's hard to believe that, but we're getting ready to open cycles for fiscal year 23. Beach and Shoreline opens next month, and all of you have the pleasure of reviewing those requests. That'll happen in March, and we'll meet and make recommendations in April. But today I'm here to ask you to appoint a subcommittee for the marketing programs. As you know, we have events and attraction marketing programs that push some of that TDC funding out into the community for our attraction and event partners to utilize. They get great coaching from the VCB marketing team along the way. And we have a budget for both programs of about $650,000. So last year we had 4 TDC members participate on the subcommittee. Thank you so much to Colleen and Bill and Tony and Pam. We are looking for your recommendation to appoint a minimum of 3 and a maximum of 5 TDC members to work with me on the review of events and attraction marketing. And the review is totally online. Events takes place in May, and July is when the attraction review happens. So that's why I'm here. If you have any questions.
Any questions for Nancy?
Anybody want to be on the subcommittee?
Absolutely, I've done it before, and
Wonderful.
we do it again.
Anyone? So Holly and Mayor Smith and Colleen, Bill? Anyone else?
Pam?
Pam, are you ducking?
We are very appreciative of the many years you've done it.
No pressure.
appreciate you, I would
No,
love
you-
to remain on. Are we doing both or are we doing one at a time?
You're doing one at a time.
Right, so we're talking events now?
I'm sorry?
This is both. You're volunteering
Events is
for both now, but they're, instead of us doing it together, they're going to separate them next year.
So it's one committee that'll do both programs, but not at the same time.
Yes, okay, yes, absolutely. then.
Just like last year, and it worked well.
I'm not sure you really had a choice.
And I don't know if anybody, Nancy, if you need a fifth, but Tony did say to me if his assistance, he couldn't be here with us today because of an appointment, but he did say if his assistance was needed, he would be happy to step in, so I'll leave that to the group, but
It's very appropriate
love
since he's
him.
not
Yeah,
here
we
that
love
we
him to
appoint
be on
him.
the
I always say if you don't show up, you get nominated. I thought you might make him vice chair.
And that gives us the 5. So
That would be great.
So we have Councilmember Pam Cronin, Bill Wachulis, Colleen DePasquale, Mayor Smith, and Tony Lappy. If you want to make a motion to approve that as your subcommittee.
So moved.
Motion for approval.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Motion and a second.
Second.
As long as you're leading the charge, we'll soldier on.
My other vice chair, Duramo, back here advised me that March and April is not a conflict with airport meetings, so we're good to go with those dates. So those are good. Okay, and next for council information. Any council information?
There's
Anybody have
a
anything?
few items in your packet that you might want to take a look at. There's a really good report from U.S. Travel, kind of a forecasting report you might want to spend a little bit of time with. And a few articles that, might be of interest to you. Sometimes I say the material I give you is dry. I'm not so sure this is so dry. I think it's all good this time. It's morning material, not evening material.
Cecil, did you want to tell them about the tower?
Oh, yeah, so, geez, there's been so many ribbon cuttings this month, it's been crazy busy. I just did one today for a housing thing, but, yeah, so Monday we had the opening of the new RSW tower, radar tower, so it's not going to be occupied by FAA for the next probably year. They're going to come in and they'll do all their work over the next year with electronics and get everything set up, but it's a beautiful building. I don't know if the Port Authority has it up on their website yet or not. I know some of us posted some pictures on our social media, but it's a beautiful tower. It's going to be it's a great addition to RSW because of the, hopefully this will help us get more planes in here, get the second runway done, but it came out really nice, so it's a really large facility, so it's putting us at the next level as far as transportation for the region for the RSW. But it came out nice, and it's pretty interesting. We get a chance to get up there and see it. It's pretty nice.
And I think aviation geeks like the style, the architectural style of the towers is a really powerful thing. So I've already been talking to the team. We need a GIF that can be on our for social media channels for those of you who use Snapchat and Instagram and those sort of things and do the stories and you place the GIFs on there. I'm thinking we need a GIF of the new tower for social channels.
And what's nice about it, you have the control room where, obviously the FAA will be monitoring from. You have a lower level that actually the airport staff, Mark and Ben, and everybody's involved with that project over the years, and the Special Management Committee, we have a floor there. It's just for observation. So we have, if you have not sure yet the rules are going to be for that about getting access, but it's like more than half the building wrapped around glass. That's where we were a lot of that time yesterday, was not part of the tower. And you got full visibility of the whole region and area. You can see Cape Coral from it. You can see out to Buckingham, Norfolk Myers, a little bit of Norfolk Myers. So if it's not too foggy, because it was foggy early in the morning, but then once the fog lifted, it was nice visibility though. But it's a great addition, And most of it was funded by FAA and FDOT, so it wasn't local funding. It was funding for the airport and FAA and FDOT. So it's a great project for the transportation network here in Southwest Florida.
Actually, we could see the Shell factory from up there.
Isn't that lovely?
It'd be a great place to watch the space launches from Cape Canaveral, because you're above the tree lines, you're up a little bit higher. So anyway, Rob, you have anything you want to share with us?
All those in the audience.
Okay. Bill, you have anything to share with us?
I love to forecast it. I'm gonna bet that 2022 is gonna be better than 2021. Just seeing the numbers at our hotels for the first quarter and next year, and the stars are all aligning with you see Omicron and what it's going to do with international travel. I think you're going to see Florida's positioned well and Lee County's positioned very well to have another record year. So I think 2022 is going to be great, pending any black swan event. I'll just put that as the.
We're going to hold you to it.
Yeah.
We love your optimism.
I agree, Bill.
Yeah.
I agree.
I think so too. Colleen, do you have anything?
Two things. One, and I apologize because this is about 2 days late. The Visit Florida, we had some conversation last year because of the sunset date that is set up for them. There is currently a bill sitting there in appropriations, a Senate bill, that would extend it, right? They're looking to, they won't remove the sunset date. They don't think they're going to get support for that. The House has not looked at it at all, and this is about 2 days old. I forgot to check before we came in today. So we're going to keep an eye on that because our chamber, as well as Sanibel Captiva, firmly believe that sunset clause needs to go away. But if we can't make it go away, if we could extend it, because then we can continue to book business further out. We don't book for this season. Like as a state, we are looking much further out than the next 6 months or so. The second thing is I really enjoyed the presentation that TAM did for the community when they did it for the hospitality people on our new branding, what's happening there, and we've had such a great year. So we've invited TAM to come be the speaker at our luncheon in June, so we can share it with the rest of the business community, because it's a big move, right? What we're doing with the branding and all the things that are happening, and sometimes I don't know that that story gets told out of the circle of people like us who are pretty passionate about what we're doing and the success. So TAM's been kind enough to be our speaker, and that's going to be on the 27th at the Embassy Suites. We'll get that loaded up and ready to go probably by the end of the week, so if you want to join us. But it's really for people who didn't get to maybe see that presentation or didn't have because that was a long morning, right? So if you didn't get to do that, we won't have the great public speaker, the speaker that you had, we won't get her.
We won't have Samantha Brown.
No, she was amazing. That was awesome. But we will have TAM come in, roll out some of the branding, talk about how amazing, what a year we had, and things like that. So if you have an interest or want to share that with anybody, we'd appreciate it.
I think you said June, so.
Did I say June? January. I can't even think about June. No.
I was like, wow, she's.
Well, we are planning June, but that's a whole different story. January 27th, I don't even know what day of the week it is, but it's at Embassy Suites. That much I can tell you.
Great.
So.
Thank you, and thanks for having your leadership team here with you today.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you. Franny, anything good news from the beach?
Happy holidays to everybody, and I'm working really hard on the spirit of the holiday right now. Thank you, Bill, for all you did. And so if anybody has any new bikes laying around, I still am short bikes. So, but happy holidays.
Great, thank you. Mayor?
Yeah, just a few things. I just want to say again, the marketing outlook on November 9th was excellent. And then we also had at Horizon Council, at our Horizon Executive Board meeting this morning, we had the presentation as well as the new branding with many in the room. So, a lot of effort went into it, a lot of conversation, and I think you all did a great job. Fort Myers tip-off, I know that we partnered as the foundation, and great job. It was so well received and very exciting to see something like that come, and to get those 8 teams here was great. Good job. The stands were filled, and I think everybody had a really good time. On Sanibel, we had our luminary Friday night, and we all needed it. We needed it as a community. We know people come from far and wide to come to our luminary. It was probably the best that I've ever seen, and the excitement and energy. Retail sales were really good. All the retail people were very happy. So if next year, if you haven't been to our luminary, come out. It's quite an event, and we look forward to it every year, and it was great to get that back in place. And the other big news in the city of Sanibel, of course, we all knew we had to say goodbye to our longstanding city manager, Judy Zamamra. I want to thank. I think it was a great presentation for the Giannone Award that she received at the meeting, and great presentation, a lot of facts. I was able to use those facts in our proclamation. We had a celebration on Saturday, another celebration. So, and as she is heading off, she's going to be actually going to be a professor at The Ohio State University. So she does start in January. She announced that on Saturday, her roots, her family. She is an Ohio State graduate, so very excited for her next move. And as she is moving out, I want to make sure that we are all welcoming who is moving in. And Dana Souza started on November 15th, and I look forward to him coming in and being in this meeting, and looking forward to that next chapter as well. So it's a great addition to our island community, and I hope everyone welcomes him the way that we will. So thank you very much, and happy holidays to everybody.
Great, thank you. Pam?
Wow, how do you follow Sanibel? Except with Merry Christmas, because I'm traditional. Thank you all, Merry Christmas. And that's always my favorite thing. First of all, thank you very much for giving us the calendar, because I did not realize Tourism Day was moved up so early this year. We usually have in March. It's good to know that it is in January, and I encourage everyone in this room to try to attend and make our voices heard. I think it's so important. I think that is a wonderful thing. Colleen, congratulations on your fabulous event last night.
Thank
I
you.
know that was really something exceptional. One more thing, we've kind of lost track a little because we've all been kind of staying at home and doing, what we're doing. And we haven't really talked about staycations much lately. And I had a little teeny tiny mini staycation last week. And I have stayed probably everywhere except I don't have an RV, so not at the Red Coconut, darn it. But, Pink Shell, I brought all my nieces out and all their girlfriends that were graduating from college, and we've always had fun there. But last week, I had the most wonderful dinner with Dan and Shelley Baggett, who we all know and love, and at the Tarpon Lodge, tonight at the Tarpon Lodge. And it is so beautiful, and you have done such amazing things there. I was overwhelmed with how nice it is and the customer service and the level of everything that you have there. So congratulations. And so if you have a day, even one night that you can spend at a staycation at Pink Shell or Tarpon Lodge or Twin Waters or any one of our wonderful places in Lee County, please do that. It is such a wonderful experience because we look around, and especially when we see the marketing that we saw, I just leaned over and I looked at Holly, I think, and said, I want to go there, and it's here where we live, and we should all be so proud and happy where we live and what we do. So, Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, again, everybody, thank you, and I look forward to working with everybody this year. You know me, my door is always open, and I look forward to working with everybody and have a great year. Tamara, we have something else going on after this?
We are going to walk over just about a block and a half away over to the patio at Twisted Vine on Hendry. I think that's right, Hendry? On the Hendry Street.
It's by Firestone right there, right? In that little alleyway there by Capone's and.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. It's in the alley. What am I saying? Yes. Yeah. So between the little alley that cuts through from First Street to always get those.
Bay Street.
Bay Street.
Right down the street.
It's on the bay end.
Follow everybody else. Follow everybody else. Sorry, I'm really botching this.
So, yeah.
Yeah, go to Capone's, make a left.
The official meeting's adjourned then. So thank you.
Doesn't have a name though. That alley doesn't have a name, does it?
No,
Yeah.
bought a brand new Dodge when I came in. I'm going to get it.
How long do you have to wait?
4 months.
Yeah.
Which one did you get? 2500.